Students with disabilities really range in your classroom, but as you can see from the bar graph below, that you're going to see a greater amount of students with smaller functional impairments than severe impairments and also physical impairments. We see about 35% of students with a disability actually have what they call a specific learning disability. And strangely enough, a specific learning disability is not very specific. It's actually a learning disability that the level of achievement and the level of intelligence are off when tested in a specific area. And so, what that means is what you can intellectually do and what you actually do in class are significantly different, and that means you're not working up to your intellectual ability for some reason. Now, we all know that there's many reasons why a student might not reach their full intellectual ability, but in this case, teachers are collecting data and assessments are done to see that they uh, really can't meet their potential because of something getting in the way. So things like dyslexia, things like some sort of disability within our vision, our hearing, not really impairments, but processing disorders, all fall under these categories. And these are things that will definitely hinder a student from learning to their full potential. And you'll see that a lot of these are small things that can very easily be remedied by teachers and therapies. The next disability type is a speech or language impairment. And I know that even when I went to school, there were so many students that went for speech instruction to help them. They were just maybe a little bit behind or didn't have something in place that came naturally for other children when they were speaking. So these disorders can, again, be remedied by therapy and eventually overcome. 12% of the students with disabilities fall under other health impairments, and this is where something to do with their health is impeding learning. And this could be something to do with their vision. This could be something to do with their actual physical health that does not allow them to do things in the classroom. Surprisingly enough, we see only 8% of the population of disabilities have autism, although over the years this number is growing at a very alarming rate. So it's actually rare to have a grade level that doesn't have a few autistic children in it. We all know that autistic children range on a spectrum from very mildly autistic to severely autistic. And students with mild autism can function well in a classroom, many times on their own. Sometimes autistic children have what we call a wraparound or an assistant that works with them. And usually severe cases of autism, those students are not mainstreamed into a regular education classroom, and they are self-contained in their own classroom. Intellectual disabilities make up 7% of our population. Developmental delays make up 6%, as well as emotional disturbances. Students that have more than one type of disability make up 2% of our population, and that just means they have more than two things on this chart together. Hearing impairments and orthopedic impairments make up just a small 1%, although they are things that we are seeing in the classroom. So all of these kind of disabilities fall into regular education needs, and some things that we sometimes have trouble categorizing are things like ADHD. That falls usually under some sort of other health impairment. But sometimes we see that as an emotional disturbance, depending on what that range of that severity is. So you can see that you'll have classrooms that have many different disability types, and here's a small explanation of how they occur.